Hey guys, Dark Prometheus here. We are back in our Cubs franchise in the postseason. NLDS against the Washington Nationals. We were beat by the Nationals last year and booted out in the NLDS, but last year is much different from this year. Bryce Harper is now on the Cubs, and he lit us up while he was in Washington that first round last year. Nationals ended up going to the World Series and being beat, so they're trying to get back to the game, as we'll see. Strasburg and Arrieta duke it out for the first game of this postseason, starting in Chicago. Chicago had the #1 seed. Here's the record between Strasburg and Arrieta. Arrieta won himself another Cy Young, his third of his career, and the second in this franchise. So, batting order for the Nationals are going to have Chris Davis out in left, and in right, Drew Stubbs and Adam Eaton's out in center. So, trying to make up for the loss of Bryce Harper, as we're going to see Jake Arrieta on the mound first. 20 wins, 4 losses, 2.22 ERA, and a whip around 1. So, Arrieta out here, top of the first. Facing the second batter here, as this is put into left center. It's going to hit the wall. Harper's going to field it in and throw it for a 1-out double. Getting up there first, trying to get on the board, Murphy, and that's a 4-seam up and still inside the zone, and that catches him staring at that one. Next batter is Chris Davis, and that's going to be right over to Rizzo at first. He's going to tag the base himself, and that will end your inning. So the Nationals trying to threaten here, but we're going to see the Cubs battle here against Steven Strasburg. 16-9, 3.25 ERA, and a 1.13 whip. So Strasburg against Baez. Baez up the middle, slow roller, trying to make the play at first, and they get him by half a step. Good play there. Good dig by Dietrich. Next one, Addison Russell. High fly ball. Deep in center field. And that one's going to be out of here. 1 row deep, and the Cubs get on the scoreboard first in the first inning as the bullpen goes wild. And this is going to be all about the Cubs hitting, but also we need some good pitching. We haven't had a lot of runs this season, but when we've had a lot, we've pitched pretty well. And when we haven't, we've also pitched pretty well out of our starters, as Bryant here flies out to right. And now Rizzo, high fly ball in left field against the switch. Chris Davis is a long way to go, but tracks it down. It looked like it hung up in the air for him to get it in the corner. But we go up 1-0 in the first. The format of the playoffs, I did end up playing every single game myself, so we're going to be going through every single one of them. And there is a swing and a miss there by Rondon. Top of the second, sinker outside, and Weeder staring at that one. As we look at the playoff look here, San Fran and the Mets have played one game by themselves as we go in here. And this one's crushed out in left field, and that's going to hit the foul pole. Maybe it sneaks out of the yard there, but that's Drew Stubbs playing out in right field, taking over for the acquired Bryce Harper, moving over from the Cubs. And the Nationals go up 2-1. Like I said, we need some good pitching here, especially from our aces. So going in to the bottom of the second, this one's going to be an opposite field double here to lead off the inning by Bryce Harper. So getting on the bag here first, trying to tie this ball game. So here's Schwarber. Schwarber, that one's a curveball inside. It's pretty much a bunt there, moving over Harper to third, but nothing to do there, as Hayward right back to Strasburg, and we're messing around with the catcher a little bit here, trying to get a Ball thrown on the outfield doesn't work much there, as we have 2 outs here. Trying to get something going. Contreras single up the middle base hit, and that'll be an RBI single. Tie ball game for the Cubs, as it looks like we'll have the pitcher up next after Contreras, but ultimately that's a ground out as Turner up and inside with that fastball. Arrieta gets him swing in. Going to the next one. Top of the 3rd. Trying to bunt over. Barehanded grab is not successful for Bryant, and that'll get a bunt single. But Murphy here straight over to Baez. Easy turn, and that will end your top of the 3rd. Tie ball game at 2 as we go to the top of the 4th. With 2 outs, this is rifled out and left, caught in by Schwarber. He had a man on first in this one, so 2 men on, top of the 4th. 0-1 count with 2 outs and a snag by Russell, and a play at first will end the threat. So, middle of the 4th, still 2-2. And what do you know, we're in the top of the 5th. The Cubs still not getting anything as this one bounces off Arrieta. And Bryant will throw to first and get the out. Looked like by a half a step there. And that was just a crazy one, as Arrieta will end up being alright. It looked like he took it off the toe. As in the next batter, it's a 1-1 count. Bryant again has it in the corner, rifles it across, and gets Turner there as that ends the inning. So still a tie ball game. Cubs not getting anything going, but the Nationals just trying to get some damage. We go in the bottom of the 5th as Hayward to lead it off is going to put this one to left center. That's going to hit the wall, and that will be a leadoff double for Hayward. Like I said, not hitting a lot these days of the Cubs, but when they hit, they're hitting for extra bases. So next one, Contreras, and that's skied out in center. I don't know if that's deep enough to get Hayward over to 3rd. He's going to test it. Hayward's going in to throw. We'll take a 1 bounce, and he'll be safe. So next one is Arrieta, and he pops this one in the infield. No chance to get anyone there. And we need a single here to untie this ball game from Baez. Baez, next one up. Swing and a miss. A changeup down and out of the zone. Strasburg escapes this one, stranding a runner 90 feet away. Top of the 6th, 1-2, and Chris Davis staring at that one up and inside. It's a fastball there. Top of the 6th with 1 on. Going to rifle it out in right, and it'll be picked up. Just couldn't get his footing there was Hayward, and that is a 1-out single. Runners in the corners. But riders here over to 2nd. Baez, quick and weird turn there. We do get one of them over at 2nd, but not able to turn 2, and that'll make it a 1-run lead for the Nationals. Baez with that speed getting back out in shallow right center to catch that one, and the Cubs have 1 more run deficit to come up here as we go into the bottom of the 6th. But we don't get anything going here. Another 3 groundouts or flyouts as this one's out in left. It's caught in, thrown to 2nd is not very powerful there, because it's a leadoff double, but there's a 4-seam against Adam Eaton, and he's staring at that one up and inside the zone. Top of the 7th here. This is skied up. We run on 3rd. Looks like we will have that one in here the end of the inning. And a good one there, as that's Brandon Morales out there on the mound. So Baez here is going to rifle this one down into right field, the bottom of the 8th, with a 2-out single. So it's Glevin's out on the mound, and Russell, that changeup's inside, and that will catch him swinging. So that's the end of the 8th. Trying to come in the 9th. A weird off the pitcher that was for Rizzo, and that'll be a single with Bryant and Rizzo on the bases, no outs. Trying to tie this ball game. And Harper, a slider inside, just can't catch up with it. So it's Kelly out here, and now that's a 4-seam up and in the zone, trying to protect his Schwarber. That's another strikeout. Next is Hayward. High fly ball. Definitely not deep enough. And that will end your game. The Cubs, in the 9th inning, able to put 2 on the bases with no outs and just cannot get the tying run around. So the Cubs lose by 1 here. Arrieta picks up the loss, and Strasburg picks up the win. So we'll see here in Game 2. As we see Lester is going to work horse down the stretch, see what he can do against Max Scherzer, one of the best pitchers in the league, still going strong. As we are playing a night game here in Chicago. Lester, though, 13-9, 2.84 ERA. It seemed like most of the time he wasn't getting a lot of run support, but that may change today as it's a cutter inside, and he has a ball game going here. Taking the first one for a strikeout. Taking the second one. Stubbs, look at that one. Cutter down and in the zone. Trying to strike out the side, but ultimately gets a ground out. But going to the bottom of the frame here is Baez. Swing and miss on that one. Next one's Russell as he just knocks the hard grounder out down the line. On the first base line there, as that is a base hit. Bryant, next one, that is pushed out in the outfield. In the right center, we do send Russell immediately there, and that's going to be another run scored in the bottom of the first. This time the Cubs need to play for keeps here. Rizzo, next one out. Rizzo, high fly ball, deep into left center, and that's just short of the warning track. Bryant will advance to third. And we're trying to get a ground ball to get a second run here. Harper gets on top of it, and that will be a ground out right to first to end your inning. So the Cubs do strike first again. This time it's Bryant with an RBI double. And ultimately we can't get Bryant from third. So top of the second. First pitch here. High fly ball deep in left center. The wind's carrying it out, but Harper will be there just before the Ivy to catch that one. As you look at the postseason brackets here, as it's split out between the Mets and the Giants. Tigers have won a game and the Indians have won a game. But here, Hayward, that is just an off-speed pitch down and outside. Contreras skies this one out in shallow left center. We're trying to get something going. It's going to be Lester. Lester straight over to second. Easy out. And that will get Scherzer out of the inning. I almost called him Scherzberg. Trying to merge them both. So we'll see what we do in the bottom of the third. A hitter's count, and this is crushed by Chris Bryant. And he's going to go for 3. He's going to hold there and come back to second. Can't stretch that one back as that is a 2-out double. Next one, Rizzo. Hit hard off into left. Chris Davis is going to throw this one in, and that'll be runners in the corners. Going to get one more. And that's going to be Harper. Another slider. This time over the plate but inside, and Harper can't get around on it to put it in play. Biggest thing though, Lester still pitching a no-hitter as we go into the top of the fourth and still going strong. 4-seam up, and that's chin music to Turner. So bottom of the fourth here, it's a couple flyouts on the Natch slide, but here is Kyle Schwarber just jacking this one out in left field. 385 feet, making the Cubs lead the 2. So trying to conserve this and trying to get back to even with a 1-1 series in a set of 5 as Schwarber allows some insurance here. Top of the 7th, we're going to fast forward here as that one's ground over to Rizzo. Still a shutout ball game for Lester. Top of the 7th, 2-0-2 count. That one's inside for Chris Davis, trying to get around on that one, and no way he could. As Lester's got a 1-hitter going so far as we go into the bottom of the 7th. Trying to get more insurance runs, and Hayward just can't get around on that one. If he gets his bat on that one, he's probably crushing it, as Scherzer still is on the mound in the 7th. Here's another one, 4-seam outside on Contreras, and we'll go to the top of the 8th. 2-2 count, change up outside, and Eden is swinging at that one. So we're going to bring in Cody Allen for a little bit of relief, as it's a good pitch in there by Lester. We're going to go for the save, top of the 9th. This one hits straight over to Rizzo, and he's going to have your first out. He tags the base. Next batter. First pitch and a rifle over to Rizzo. Go to reaction to snag that one. One out remaining before we take this game. It's going to be a changeup that's out in left field, and Schwarber turns around, able to make a play. And in 4 pitches, we get the side in the 9th in Game 2 to match the series. So we'll see if we can keep on going here, as this is a big next game, as we're going to have Kyle Hendricks out here. He's been pitching good around down the stretch, but we've had some issues with Ross in this franchise trying to hit him, as this game is in Washington, the next 2 here. And, well, this could decide the series. This is rifled over to short. Good snag before it hits the ground. Russell robbed that base hit. Next one is Bryant. Bryant rifles this out in center field. And that'll be a 2-out single. So out here is Rizzo. Rizzo trying to protect there. That's up and look like it on the hands, but still in the zone, as Chris Davis comes and catches that one out in foul territory. And that will end your inning. First pitch is a breaking ball, and that one's smashed deep. The wind's pushing it out, but no way that's going out. Very next pitch, that one's down the line in left field. Schwarber is going to get this one in the corner. He's going to throw it in, and that'll be a 1-out double. And it's Turner with that hit. So trying to prevent the Nats from scoring, Daniel Murphy's going to come up next. Hendricks. Oh, look here, and that's going to go on the outside. Hit! Straight over to Harper. Harper gets it in quickly to a cutoff man, and no hope of getting over to third. As we look at the postseason tie series between the Astros and Tigers, the Indians up by 2. San Fran is up by 1. And, well, that's a sinker inside, and, well, staring at that one is Chris Davis like always. So, going to the top of the 3rd here, Baez hit out in right field. It's curving away, and that is going to hit the ground and go out in a bullpen. So that will be a ground rule double. And a Russell here, slider in the zone, but just a slow mover on that one. Gets him swinging and a miss. Next one, though, Bryant, changeup just below the zone. And that will end your inning. Still no score. Here is now Hendricks showing out his changeup to Ross as he swings and misses at that one. And now Schwarber powers it, ground ball up the middle. We're going to send the runner is Harper over to third, and the throw is offline. Now runners in the corners, trying not to get into a double play, and Hayward puts it out for at least a double. And Schwarber's going to try for third, and he is going to have that ball offline as well. So runners in the corners. Next one, Contreras skies it deep in the left center. Schwarber is going to test it. Throw is going to come in, hits the cutoff man, and Schwarber gets in safe. It's 2-0 with that sac fly. Hendricks over here, just a chopper over to second. Good grab and transition and throw by Murphy. And will the Cubs go up 2-0, bottom of the 4th. And that's rifled down left. Another one down the third base line. A good bounce for Schwarber. Throws it in, but no play at second. And that'll be a leadoff double. So trying to prevent anything from occurring with that double. Chris Davis straight up to Baez. Quick throw to first, and that'll be your first out. So Davis just right over to him. Dietrich, four-seam in the zone, just blows right by him. So now Hendricks going outside, and Rendon can't catch up to that sinker, and Hendricks strands one of them on bases. Baez four-seam up and outside the zone. Ross getting another strikeout there. As we move in the bottom of the 7th, still on the mound is Hendricks, and this one's out in right center, and that's going to hit the wall. It's going to be fielded off and thrown in, and that'll be a one-out double, trying to get some score back into this one. Nationals trying to be, not to be blanked out, but 0-2 count. Hitters count, pitchers count, gets them to ground out to Baez. Runner does advance over to third. Dietrich, though, high fly ball out in left. Schwarber just can't come up with it. It's going to bounce over his head. One run will score, and Schwarber is going to throw it in, and that makes it 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th. So now Stubbs going to come out here. We're going to leave Hendricks in. Hendricks puts this one outside, and this one's going to be over to Baez. Big play reaching out there to field the ground ball. They'll end your inning. So Nereus out here in the bottom of the 8th, and that's going to be a hit by Turner. It's going to be a single. So trying to hold this one. That's a high fly ball in left field. And that'll be caught by Schwarber with 2 outs. Trying to strand Turner, that speed, trying to tie the game, and Murphy is going to ground the ball over to Baez. We did have one wild pitch in there that allowed Turner to advance over to second, but at the end of the day, still a 2-1 game. Cody Allen out here. Cody Allen, big, strong hit in center field, but it's going to be a line drive instead, straight to Harper, as that becomes your 1 out. Going for the second. A changeup in the zone. Dietrich just staring at that one, and Allen just needs 1 more out for his second save of the postseason. And this one's hit over to Baez. Baez feels it over to first, and that's wins your ball game. The Cubs go up 2-1. This is going to be a series where we'll see the next couple games in the next episode. Thank you all for joining me, as I will see you guys next time. Later.